From here, you'll see that we have an icon up here that looks like an eye. That's where you'll find your compendium. For the decks that we've added, you'll see that we already have them kind of visible over here. If you want to hide them, we would just go to the decks and macros tab, and you would be able to select which decks of cards you want to show or hide, and you can select those. The next step that you would likely want to do is set up a deck for your bennies. Your bennies, you just create a deck. So we'll add a new one. It adds this down here. We can come over here. We'll call this bennies. You can select which options you want. I typically make my Benny deck infinite, so I don't have to worry about it. I do allow my players to draw from it. You can control that. If you don't want them to, then you don't have. You can disable that. This is going to be unimportant, but for bennies, we don't need to allow choosing specific cards because I'm only going to put one card in this deck. Your discard pile is going to be unimportant as well, as are the fonts. I always have my bennies play face up, and then we can come over to our image library. I've already set up, or I've already added different images for my bennies. These were for like the after, where I wanted to have some kind of post-apocalyptic type stuff. So let's say we're just going to grab this Benny. We can bring it over here. This is the card back. This is what will show over on the right-hand side here. And then if I add a card, I can add the same thing in. Sometimes Roll20 gets a little bit weird. You just want to make sure that you're not overwriting another image. You can give the card a name if you want, and you can give it a tooltip for when people hover over that if you want to. Just save your changes, go back to our deck. You'll now see that we have a Benny one over here that we can put over here, and we just shuffle that deck, even though it's one card. And now you can drag those out and give them to people. To deal them, you just click on the deal. You can say how many cards you want to deal or draw. You can select which players you want it to go to. If you're starting a game, a lot of times I just send it to all players because all players start with 3 bennies. If you have a player with bad luck, I usually just deal to everybody except that person, and then deal that person last. Or yeah, that's usually what I do. Okay, and that's the basics of. Oh, you know what? There is one other setting you may want to think about, and that is a lot of people don't use, and I'm one of them. I don't use Roll20 for my video or my voice. So over on your configuration tab, you just come down to audio and video, and you can see where it says chat tech, or others can hear or see voice, video, none. I select that to none. I put that to none. And then I put that to none. And this way, when we reconnect, which it'll automatically do for you, you'll see my icon of my avatar down here in the left-hand corner. You can resize that, especially important for people that may be playing on smaller screens. You can come in and under, I believe that's under the chat options. Here we go. It's under audio and video, video display, and then you can select name only, which would look like that, or you can change it to small, which is a little bit smaller. Regular is what it comes in at. If you really want people to see your avatar, you can make it large. I usually just go small. The reason I do this rather than going with name only is because when you set up your character, if you attach a token to that character, and I'll show that to you here in just a moment, when you select that down here as, it changes your avatar to that of the character.